Justice Amegashi is a development transportation consultant, a former chief executive officer of the DVLA, also a fellow of the Chartered Institute of Logistics and Transport. He joins me for a conversation. Thank you, Mr. Amegashi, for joining us. So the minister has said that consultations had been done, to arrive at this particular decision. But for the minority and some other groups, these consultations were not broad enough. And so the banning of the Aboboyas from using the motorways cannot be lawful.
Hello?
Hello, Mr. Amegashi.
I'm here.
Great. So I was asking that, there's been consultations, according to the minister, to arrive at this decision where we are now, to ban the use of these motorized tricycles on the motorway starting November 1. But for some groups, especially the minority, this decision is unlawful. But from where you sit as a transport consultant, the use of these tricycles on highways, specifically the motorways, is definitely something to be concerned about, not so?
Yes. For us to address this issue thoroughly, we need to go back to 1974, when Ghana changed from left-hand traffic to right-hand traffic. And in 1974, the Ghana Highway Code, Rule 107, provided, among other things, that motorways are dual carriageway roads, which will not be used by certain kinds of road users, for example, pedestrians, bicycles, small motorcycles, except where tracks are provided. Now, although in 2180 Road Traffic Regulation 2012, 2180, no provision of such nature has been put. When one look at Road Traffic Act 2004 at 683, specifically Section 36, it acknowledged the existence of the Highway Code and enjoins compliance with the rules that are provided in the Highway Code. And it is provided further that, any action which contravenes the Highway Code is punishable. To that extent, when we look at that provision, and then the fact that each and every time that one steps on the road, all classes of road users assume a level of risk. As you assume a level of risk, one needs to take steps to make sure that he doesn't exacerbate that risk, but rather to lessen it. And when we also look at the current, rate of road crashes on our roads, there's a need to introduce measures or to take decisions that are in the public good for public safety. So there's a lot of risk in allowing Aboboyaa or tricycle, for that matter, to be using the motorway and the highway.
But Mr. Amegashi, the argument some have made is that these are the only ways refuse are carted from our various homes to the landing sites, some of which are far away, across the motorway. And to be able to get there with refuse, you'd certainly have to use the motorway. So how do these people get the trash out of their homes safely for disposal without these carts?
I know, I understand where you're coming from. But the point of the matter, the Highway Code provided long ago that except where tracks are provided. In other words, tracks must be provided. Tracks must be provided for that particular purpose, so that they don't interfere, they don't share the road with other speed vehicles. The motorway is a speed road. And when you look at Aboboyaa, and then people are about to overtake, well, if you have used the motorway where Aboboyaa will share the road with Aboboyaa, and then the risks are increased as a result of the speed at which they're traveling. So it's a risk element. If you look at the risk element and the benefits thereof in selling the refuse, most of it, the drivers could not reach the destination, and the refuse pour on the road as a result of road crash. So we have to look at the cost and benefits element in order to balance as to where, because as of safety, you cannot measure safety. Because the road crashes that are occurring is a public health issue.
All right, thank you very much. Justice Amegashi is a transport consultant there speaking to us on this particular subject. I'm sure in subsequent days, there'll be a lot more conversation around this, how to properly streamline this so people do not have refuse stuck in their homes because these people who catch them are unable to come fetch them so they can easily dispose them of.